Hi, welcome to this week's episode of CHS TV Remote Edition. I'm Dimitri, and this week we have another great installment. Now to a message from Mr. Gorman.
Good morning, Sentiments Pirates. I hope this message finds you and your family well. I know this week was hard, and the announcement from Governor Murphy that the school closure would continue through the end of the year was disappointing to so many of us. However, I am incredibly proud of the efforts of our students and staff in our online environment, and I know that we will finish this year strong. I'd like to take a moment right up front to apologize to the following students. I made a copy error in my first round of birthday wishes and neglected to include them in my original message. Zoe Malave, Paige Melberger, Brandon Warner, Owen Wyke, Ryan Berry, Tyler Kahn, Joe Hoffman, Lauren Nacito, Amy Mulholland, Kylie Rohde, Shannon Clark, Josh Scuderi, Eric Patrick, D. Oliveira Silva Coella, Anthony Galvich, Adam Kieran, Dylan McGinnis, Paul Monter, and Allison Okomsky. I am very sorry for my error, and please accept a very heartfelt but belated happy birthday. To round out our character education year, we spend May and June celebrating Pride. We define pride as the feeling of satisfaction derived from one's own accomplishments or membership within an organization, and I think that I speak for everyone when I say that I have never been prouder to be a pirate. We are finding new and different ways to demonstrate that pride, but it is clear that we have all committed to focusing on solutions over obstacles and finding ways to celebrate the things we love. You are each amazing, and I am so proud to be one of you. In closing, please join me in recognizing this week's birthdays: Maria Constanti, Colin Healy, Destiny Palfy, Rebecca Drum, Amanda Godwin, Nasira Calloway, Brenna Pietrowski, Jamie Tucker, Michael Armento, David Barada, Jenna Averill, Joseph Bastian, Caitlin Mulligan, and Sarah Watson. Happy birthday to all of you, and I wish you all the very best. Now over to Kevin with a new segment called CHS Decides.
Sentiments in High School would like to recognize the class of 2020 by showcasing our seniors and where they've chosen to set sail after this year. Let's take a look at CHS Decides.
Hello and welcome to this week's Ask the Staff. This week we asked the teachers, what is one thing you wish you learned about in high school that you face in the real world? Let's take a look.
One thing I wish I learned in high school before facing the real world is, one, how to turn those blue slips the doctor gives you to actual medicine. My first week of college, I was very confused by that.
I guess just like understanding, like how to take out a loan. I didn't really have to do that in high school. And then, just, I guess you guys have like financial readiness and stuff right now, which is great, because I didn't have that.
One thing I wish I learned in high school is anything about finances. I just wish I knew more about that.
Economics, finance, money.
The only thing that popped into mind was how to manage my money a little better.
I wish I learned more about credit card interest.
Carpentry. One thing that I think is really important and it can save you a lot of money over time is being able to fix things, being able to build things in your own house. having a teacher or having someone that had expertise and patience would really help out with that a lot. I kind of had to learn on the go and watch a lot of YouTube channels.
I would say marry rich. Seriously, just marry for love.
Not to harp on your mistakes. It wastes a lot of time. That you gotta learn to think on your feet.
Typing. Definitely typing.
Boy, these days I sure do wish I would have learned to type properly. I type like a caveman, and I spend more time editing and deleting than I do actually getting words typed. It is atrocious.
The one thing I wish I had learned about in high school before facing the real world is not to be so hard on myself and to cut myself a break.
Listen, we all have to be very resilient. If this isn't the test of our resiliency right now, I don't know what is. So give yourself credit and pat yourself on the back. And remember, you are truly resilient.
Well, I wish they had actually told us that there is more past college. You know, you go into it thinking you're just going to be in college, you get through high school, you get through college, and then your whole world is set up for you. But there's actually a lot more that you have to do, and you really have to have that dedication and that persistence to get yourself to where you want to be. It's not going to be as easy as just checking off a list of things. So there are certain things on the list that you don't even know exist yet, and you kind of have to figure that out as you go along.
Oh, to worry about yourself.
Worry about yourself.
What about yourself? And others' opinions don't matter.
Probably time management.
I wish I was not in such a rush to grow up.
One thing I wish I learned was to file taxes. Now over to Sarah.
Welcome to this week's New Face Who Dis, where we post a picture on our Instagram story and you can guess who it is. This week we posted 3 pictures. The first, for our teachers, is Mrs. Barrett or Mrs. Henley. The second is Mrs. Laskowski or Mrs. Berger. And for our students, we posted Abby McDonald or Val Largay. Here are the results for our teachers. 77% of you guessed correctly Mrs. Henley. 76% guessed Mrs. Berger, and that is correct. And the results for our students, 62% guessed correctly Abby McDonald. Go follow at CHS _TV _broadcasting to participate in our weekly polls. Make sure to turn on notifications for our Instagram story so you can guess who the next photo is. Now over Maddie with the weekly report.
Welcome back, Pirates, to this week's Weekly Report. This week, I interviewed Cinnaminson High School's own Mr. Campbell about remote learning from a teacher's perspective. Let's take a look.
So I think I'm supposed to say that I hate remote teaching or classroom teaching or remote learning, but to be honest with you, the parts of it I really like. I like being able to control my day. I think I'm pretty comfortable using technology as a teacher. So those challenges were pretty easy for me to overcome. Obviously, I missed the chance to bust the chops and make fun of my students. I missed the chance to be around some of the colleagues that I get along with, and I missed the chance to not be around my kids for a little while. So do I prefer classroom teaching or remote learning? I'd say it's a tie. In my free time, I'd like to say I'm exercising, but probably not enough. I get out and walk a lot. Our dog has lost a lot of weight. I'm hoping to follow in Casey's footsteps. We've been watching a lot of things with the kids. Every Monday and Tuesday, we watch the last 2 episodes of the Michael Jordan documentary. That's been a lot of fun. We've taken up some board games every once in a while. So actually, I feel like we actually have less free time now than we did other times. I definitely miss coaching lacrosse. I definitely miss watching my kids, the high school ones and the ones I'm related to, playing lacrosse. But Gannon and I, my youngest, have gotten out. We've invented a couple games using our bounce back. I am kind of the coffee bucket ball champion in my house, not to brag. He's 10, so that's why I beat him. What tips do I have? Actually, I've been thinking about this. Somebody said this to me, and it's a really interesting thing to think about. This will be the only time in our lives when we get a month or two to concentrate and work on something about ourselves. So once COVID happened, I said, every day of COVID, I'm going to try to get X number of steps in. To be honest with you, I've been able to do that almost every day. One day I challenged myself and got as many as 30,000 steps in. But I think that would be one of the things I'd say to people is flip it. Like, instead of saying, oh my gosh, I don't get, say, wow, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. If I'm an athlete, I can work on my craft as much as I want. I can lift, I can run. Thankfully, we live in the information age. You go on Instagram, you go on Google, there's 8 million workouts out there. If there's something you've always been meaning to read or something to get good at, think about it. This is the one time in your life where you're going to have a decent amount of dedicated time with almost no distractions or very few distractions with school that'll allow you to get that done. The other thing I've been telling people to think about is this isn't just happening to Cinnaminson, right? This is happening to the whole world. It's happening to the whole country. And every kid in New Jersey is going through what you're going through. So I think that's a really powerful reminder. If you come out of this pandemic, global pandemic, and the worst thing you can say is, I missed a prom, I missed a graduation, I think maybe we should start thinking about how lucky we are in that regard. Think of it as an opportunity. Think about that one thing you've always wanted to do, you've always wanted to be good at. Go online and watch piano lessons. Learn how to sing your favorite song. Do something with the time that you never thought you'd have time for. Don't be afraid to text somebody and say, hey, I need to talk, or hey, do you remember that time, blah, 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 and find an excuse to laugh.
I would like to thank Mr. Campbell and all of Cinnaminson's teachers for truly giving their all during this time and exhibiting the 3 major themes of Cinnaminson High School: commitment, honor, and spirit. Not to mention, we have many students here at CHS doing that as well. During this quarantine, Mrs. Savoca's class took the time to write letters to essential workers to thank them and show them how appreciative we are of their efforts. Check it out.
Thanks, Maddie. I would also like to thank all the essential workers out there. They're all doing an amazing job for our country. Well, that wraps up this week's episode. From all of us here at CHS TV, we hope you stay safe and healthy, and have a great weekend.
I hate that segment name. Have I told you that? New Face Who Dis? That is... It makes me cringe. All the way, just through my body, I just cringe. Hold on. Still chewing. So I'm starting to think I should be like coming up with stuff for you guys to put in the back. I have no idea what I would say though. Alright, let's get started. Okay.